Hello everyone, this is Awab Nabi, the interviewer, live at Margarita Hall in Rome, and I'll be interviewing a musician, an actor, and an audience member. Good evening, Mr. Davis. It's nice to see you at Margarita Hall in Rome right now. Where do you play music on the stage during the performance? I play the music in front of the stage with the other musicians and the conductor. I mean, what instruments are used to create the music that displeases audience ears? Why is that music important to match the theme of this event? We play violins, drums, trombones, and tubas because they have the right musical notes to make futurist music. The audience members thought the music had more dissonance than consonance, which fuels their frustration. What is it about the music that makes them feel angry? What do you think of their responses to the musicians? I think the causes of the music sounding bad are presto tempo, incorrect tones and sounds, unstable dissonance, uneven dynamics, and confusing rhythm. The music may have been less enjoyable, more provoking, and too loud. They think the musicians are not talented enough to meet their musical performances, and the music may be too surprising for the spectators of the orchestra. Final question. Including yourself, what are the musicians' reactions to the audience's behavior that involves shouting and throwing produce? All of us musicians couldn't take any more unpleasant responses from the audience, so we had to stop playing music and take cover. We feel so unappreciated, scared, upset, and worthless due to the lack of desired respect and support. The produce thrown by them was going to ruin the instruments badly. Sorry to hear that, but thanks for allowing me to interview you, Mr. Davis. I hope things will get better for you. Goodbye. Good evening, Mr. Alexander. Where do you perform your acts to try to entertain the audience? The stage is where I present my talents, the theater, drama, and comedy. The Futurists seem to be disrespecting and hating actors. They decided to attack the actors with rotten vegetables. What elements of Futurist theater caused the impolite rebellion of the audience? The way Futurist theater works is that it has no tradition, masters, and dogma, but swift actuality. The actors normally try to entertain the spectators with comic effects, erotic stimulation, or imaginative astonishment, but they think acting is practical. Also, this type of theater prevents any traditions from establishing themselves and has actors show visions and spectacles. Theater has a narrative, scenic effects, a decorated background with futurist artwork. How do you think actors represent characters that fit the ideas of the serata? What do you think the audience knows about that characterization? They present their behaviors, traits, thoughts, and emotions through movements, costumes, and personalities. One likely aspect of futurist performance is to turn some actors into machines with costumes and specific movements. It would try to interest the futurists without having them mistaken their appearances. On the other hand, other actors add like different characters with different personalities. I guess the audience didn't understand everything based on what they saw from the actors. They think our ways of acting do not please their views, and they hate our hard work of performing after all. After you notice the audience revolting and throwing produce at you and the other actors, how do you react to the unjust behaviors and responses of those futurists? When they started acting like that, the angry force of the audience was too much. We feel very unhappy, unsafe, and disrespected, so we had to throw all the produce back at the audience to show our frustration. Okay, that was my last question for you, Mr. Alexander. I am sorry about what you had to experience. Goodbye. Good evening, George. To start things off, where are you located for this event? Because we are audience members, we watch the performance in the seating area in front of the musicians and actors. I see you are upset and angry about what you saw and heard during the Sarada. You even participated in a riot with other futurists. What caused you to go into rebellion with others? How exactly did you react to the event? Well, I obviously don't like the way actors perform scenes with drama and comedy altogether, and the way musicians play musical sounds and notes at random times. So that causes a boiling feeling in me. My inner mad self motivated me into having a rebellious attitude and using produce to throw at the actors and musicians. What do you think of the art and sculptures included in the Sarada's setting? The artwork shows views of what a regular futurist performance is like. I believe the artwork does not look convenient, and the various types of lines make them look kind of messy and not vivid. A good thing about the sculptures is that they are colorful and smooth, bumpy, and well structured in some textures. The bad thing is other textures are too rigid, pointy, and bulky, making them look uncomfortable and weird. Due to your oppositions and disagreements, what is your futurist background about, and what does it mean to the event? Throughout futurist times in history, futurists like me are political activists who support World War I and have vigilant demonstrations. We deal with certain propaganda and recognize the older fine arts during the pre-World War I movement. We act like energetic opportunists going to extremes when it comes to major futurist events. We know that a Sarada wouldn't exactly be art, but a combination of art, polemics, and quasi-political action. To be honest, we all know the basic implications of performance art better than this event because we have our own procedures and cultural preferences to have greater satisfaction. Therefore, this event does not display true talents and knowledge for a futurist to enjoy. Final question. In your opinion, what improvements do you think need to be made for this errata? For a futurist like me to truly enjoy the event with positive behavior, the musicians would have to do better organization with their composition of musical notes and patterns. The actors would have to portray emotions, movements, lines, and stage directions in a greater way to entertain any rebellious spectator. Okay, thanks for participating in this interview, George. I hope you cheer up later on. Enjoy yourself. Goodbye.